for every Nclex exam, you realize that you are able to easily rule out two options, so you're left between the devil and the deep blue sea. Funny enough, some of the questions that came out, I found the tricks and the tips from Klimek very helpful, especially in terms of how to know adverse effect, how to prioritize, how to delegate, and how to report, what actions to take, how to communicate certain things, and how to do some open-ended communication that will help you explore more what the patient is saying. Alright guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelvin Osai. I'm a content creator, registered nurse, music artist. So welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. But if you're new and you're just seeing this video for the first time, please do well to subscribe and turn on your notification. I want to be sharing some experiences with you. So regarding Nclex preparation, a lot of persons are often faced with the dilemma of so many materials. Like you have Sundas, you have this subscription, you have this PDF, you have this MCQ PDF, so many materials, and you're wondering what is the right approach or how do you use these materials. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to use Klimek audio material. I'll put the link to this Klimek material in the description of this video so that you don't go about looking for it. So for every video I make, I'm going to be putting materials links in the caption so that it will help your preparation. Like I said in my previous video on how to ace or pass IELTS like a pro, I'll put it in this video. Do well to go and watch it. Everybody have their preparation technique. For someone like me, I'm a visual and auditory learner. That means opening of books, thousands of pages, is not really my strong point. That doesn't mean I will not be able to read book, but it's not my strong point. There are also 1,000 of people like me. Also, there are people who prefer to just quickly glance through the book, get the information they want, and off they go within 10 minutes. But for some people, you have to read several times before you get it. I'm going to be focusing on Klimek audio. So Klimek is audio lecture by K, and it covered almost everything. It gives tips and tricks on how you're going to prepare for Nclex. But however, most people do not know how to use this material. I used this material, I listened to the audio a few times before I started preparing, and I also listened to it after I've done a lot of content reviews and all that. So it gives me a very clear picture of how to answer questions and strategic approaches you can use to not make certain mistakes. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things you need to understand. I'm going to be switching quickly to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Physiological needs always come first. So that means you do your physiological needs before safety, before comfort, before psychological, social, and spiritual needs. For example, when presented with multiple issues like electrolyte imbalance or false risk, you have to prioritize physiological needs. Okay, physiological need means electrolyte imbalance would come first before, the other false risk. And the other one I want to talk about is safety. Always assume safety first. For all your questions, in fact, Nclex is a safety exam. For all your questions, prioritize safety first. Ask yourself, which of these 4 options is the safest? And then also, if it is a select all that apply, which of these options is the safest? The safest is usually your best answer. And that is one of the approaches that K also taught us. So, for select all that apply, which is what we call SATA, you always avoid over-selecting. Yes, avoid over-selecting and also avoid under-selecting. So try and find a balance between over-selecting and under-selecting. Under-selecting is when you're asked to select all that apply and you go ahead and select only one. Yeah, it is a safe approach, but it's not always good. And then if you go and over-select, maybe you select 4 or 5. The option is 5. The options are 5, and then you're selecting 5 or selecting 4. You risk losing some marks. So you have to find a balance. So if you know the option A very well and you're very sure option A is correct, select it. If you know option C is correct, select it. But then if you realize that D is not so correct, you're not so sure, leave it. You've already selected 2. So that is one other approach. Then there is the rule of 50-50. For every Nclex exam, you realize that you are able to easily rule out 2 options, and then you're left with the other 2 options. So you're left between the devil and the deep blue sea. Yes. So what you have to do in this point is to pick out the safest option between these 2. One very important thing I'd like to say is that if you want to use my Klimek audios to prepare for your Nclex, I would encourage you to listen to it twice before you start reviewing any Nclex material. This is because my Klimek audio will give you insight into what you already know, and then also expose you to the things that sound strange to you when you're listening to my Klimek. So that way you already start having an idea of the areas you need to focus on during your Nclex material reviews. For example, you're listening to the audio and you realize that all the things they were saying about pharmacology, you're finding them strange. That means you need to really focus on pharmacology. If you realize that when it comes to delegations, all the things they were saying, they sound familiar to you, they are things you feel you're quite conversant with, then you realize that delegations is not really a strong issue for you. And then what I did personally was that I listened to my Klimek audios twice before I started even reviewing any of the Archer, Simple Nursing, YouTube videos, etc. because it helped me understand where to focus. And then what I also did, I left it. When I started reviewing materials, I left Klimek. I listened only to the videos, audios, and all the things, materials for my Nclex review that I subscribed for, which I'm also going to do a little comparison between Archer and Simple Nursing. These are the 2 I used. So after that, a week to my exam, I started listening to my Klimek again. I listened to the part 1 to part 12. Again, I listened to them twice. In fact, I listened to part 12 the night before my exam. And funny enough, some of the questions that came out, I found the tricks and the tips from my Klimek very helpful, especially in terms of how to know adverse effects, how to prioritize, how to delegate, and how to report, what actions to take, how to communicate certain things, and how to do some open-ended communication that will help you explore more what the patient is saying. So I hope you found this video helpful. All right. So, and there's something I almost forgot. There is a PDF version of my Klimek. Someone sent it to me. I printed it. I would look for the link also and add it in the description. There is a PDF version of the Klimek audio. So when I was listening to it the week before my exam, I was flipping through. So I was listening. I was also looking at the notes, and the notes also had some other things. I think the student transcribed the audio and then added some extra notes into it. This would also help you during your preparation. I hope this video has been able to help you. I'm going to be sharing more tips on how to approach Nclex. Please do well to subscribe, do well to turn on your notification. This is just part 1 of a series I'm going to be embarking on. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Do well to share this video. If you're seeing my video for the first time, do well to subscribe. I really appreciate you, and thank you for watching. Bye.
There's no road I wouldn't drive, there's no price I wouldn't pay, there's no height I wouldn't climb just for you.